Welcome to the world of my crystal ball. I'm not at all sure how many videos this is going to take, but we're going to take a shot at 50 predictions, 50 prognostications, 50 different ways that I can be wrong in 2024. But we'll have them all and we'll put them down in a calendar eventually, and then we can check them off as we go and see just how wrong I could possibly be. But who knows? Maybe I'll get a few right. I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts with regard to this list. I'd like you to add to the list your own estimates, your own thoughts. Some of mine, you might say, well, Randy, yeah, I think that's going to happen, but it's going to happen in 2025, or maybe it's never going to happen, something that I'm completely and totally wrong on. Maybe you'll have some variations and versions of what I'm saying. But this is a great one for your comments, and I'm pretty confident that I will eventually do an entire video on your comments with regard to these particular estimates that I'm making. Now, these are not going to be like a lot of numerical things. This is not where I'm going to put up the charts. That'll be later, probably next weekend, although I might wait until after the earnings report because I think that'll give us a lot more data in order to make those predictions a lot more useful. Anyway, so let's see. What do I want to tell you? Hit the like button right now. That'd be really helpful. Do you like these predictions? Do you like that I go out on a limb and take these shots? Then hit like, hit subscribe, hit notify. You hit notify because you want to be notified about all the stuff that's coming up next week with all these great hosts and co-hosts that I have and interviews and things. And then, of course, we want you to join Patreon. Patreon. I put this list up in a text form on Patreon a couple of days before it ever appeared here on video. And then I also put up this video on Patreon before it went live on YouTube. So if you'd like to see some things like that early, but the truth is you really want to join Patreon just to support the channel. That's really what it's all about. It's really about saying, Randy, thank you for putting in the time, putting in the effort. And we know, everybody knows that you can't make it in YouTube without Patreon. Okay. It just can't be done. There's just not enough income to justify all of the effort. All right. So, and Cybertruck, don't forget to place your order. All the information is down below on how to do this, $25 for one, et cetera, et cetera. You can buy it on Amazon too, for $29.95, and many people do. All right, let's go ahead. All right, number one, here's my first prediction. In quarter one, there will be a huge increase in consumer-facing advertising. No, it's not going to be quarter two, quarter three. No, it's going to happen really, really soon. They've hired these folks, in this large video operation, production managers and production people. This is going to be a video-based effort. I'm guessing and hoping that it will also be on X. I think Elon might be worried that shareholders will be like, come on, Elon, you're spending millions and millions of Tesla advertising money on X. Isn't that a conflict of interest? I don't think the investors will care. In fact, if we believe Elon, and most of us do, then the highest ROI that you can get right now is on X. So why wouldn't he use X? Now, I would think you could give a little discount, Elon. That'd be fair. You could give a discount to an intercompany transaction, but I don't think anybody's going to care that you use X. In fact, I think they'll be thrilled if you would do it on X. So to me, that would be a double win. Everybody gets a plus for that. So videos coming out. Lots of videos, probably on X, on YouTube, maybe on Vimeo, maybe maybe on Facebook, maybe on lots of places. And then at some point, that'll be number two. At some point, that's going to be tested on streaming. I don't know if it'll ever actually get on cable television or on regular old-fashioned television. Because those things are dying, dead. But streaming is what's happening right now. So, you've got Netflix, you've got Prime, you've got Disney, you've got all these different places. I'm thinking Prime has just announced that they are going to do advertising on Prime streaming maybe that's a place to go, because in the early days, they might be giving deals, and that might be just the place to open it up. And Prime does a massive, they are, I think, number 2 now in terms of behind YouTube in terms of the total amount of content that is being streamed. And I think they're closing in on some of these. I think they have more participants, maybe, but not more hours, something like that. Anyway, so that's number 2 on my list, that maybe there'll be streaming videos for sure that Tesla will be advertising on using these videos that they're now producing. I think they'll use those also for, as they are now, for YouTube ads. They'll use, those or something else for YouTube ads. I think the effort is going to be hugely video. That's number 1. And number 2, number one is also to be the first quarter. And number 2 is that they will then, after a little experience, and probably still within the first quarter, they will start experimenting with advertising on streaming video. Maybe they'll get into some traditional television or some cable, but I think that would be later. It's not a prediction. Some people are thinking that they'll take advantage of the fact that GM, Ford, and Stellantis pulled out of the Super Bowl to do a Super Bowl ad. I could see that happening. It's not a prediction, but I don't think it's a dumb idea. All right, number 3, the Model 3, this is a big one. The Model 3 will be a massive hit in the United States. It will do fine in China, and it'll do okay in Europe, but it'll be a massive hit in the United States. The numbers will be so good in the US that Tesla will have to do some new workarounds to get more production. Probably, and I've said this before, probably they will they'll eliminate Model Y production in Fremont. They'll go 100% Model 3 in Fremont in order to get the production they need, and they'll increase the Model Y production down in Austin in order to take up that slack. They have plenty of capability to make more Model Ys in Austin, and I would hope to see Austin moving into the 500, 600,000 range this year. And I think there's every reason to believe they can do that. Now, that would be on an annualized basis, not necessarily saying they'll hit 500 to 600,000 in total shipments out of Austin this year, but I think they'll be certainly at that clip, maybe even, I would say, even by sometime in the second quarter. All right, so massive increase, massive hit on the Model 3. And part of the reason will be simply that it's such an amazing value proposition. When you get in a Model 3 Plus, what you are getting in a Model 3 Plus will be so much more than any other car remotely close to the Model 3 in price, that it will become an obvious situation. It'll just be like, duh. So I'm thinking total US sales of Model 3 will double in 2024. As part of my prediction on number 3 here, they will double their total sales. I mean, think about it. The things that you don't get in any other car than a Tesla, the app, the entertainment center, and farts and romantic settings and games and all the rest of the stuff that's happening in the entertainment center, and not going to gas stations and not having to do repairs. I mean, it's just, the list is so long. I'm not going to do it here again. This is mostly for predictions, not for the normal kinds of things I do. All right, so number 4, the Cybertruck ramp will be far easier than expected. Not that it's, let's say, far easier than you and I, or maybe most of the pundits are expecting. Maybe Elon's always thought it wasn't going to be that hard, but he was sandbagging a bit. And therefore, the shipments will reach at least 100,000 actual out the door shipped, delivered in 2024. New deposits coming in immediately right now. We don't know what they are yet. We're not seeing much reporting except something like 10,000 a week on new orders coming in. New orders with deposits will be so strong that additional lines will be put in place earlier than planned. 1 million units per year will be the new expectation by the end of the year, not by March, but by the end of the year, as we're hearing about what people are thinking, then we will be to the point where the CT, the Cybertruck, will be going to basically replace all of the other pickup trucks and become the number one selling pickup truck and be the only one doing 1 million plus units. The other ones will all shrink in comparison, and it'll be very, very big. Anyway, when you consider, it's kind of like what I just said about the Model 3. When you consider what this truck can do compared to any other truck, it's 48 volt and steer by wire and all four wheels moving and stainless steel so you don't get it scratched up on a construction site or when you're going off-road. And and all the kinds of fun wraps you can put on it, the way that it just impresses the socks off of people when they see it, all of the what do you want to call it? The performance, the performance characteristics alone. And then again, no gas stations. I'm just barely touching on the list of how the Cybertruck and drives like a Rolls Royce, according to both 17-inch clearance. Anyway, so I believe, therefore, it will be a slam dunk, crazy numbers of people that are going to be getting in line for these Cybertrucks, and Tesla will ramp to support that. All right, number 5, the shocking sales of the Model 3 Plus will cause Tesla to move very fast to make the same type of changes to the Model Y. I would say no later than July, the Model Y Plus will roll out worldwide. Is it Juniper? I don't know. Elon said today that the Highland name has never been true, and that there's no such thing as a Highland. Maybe there's no such thing as a Juniper either. Whatever it's going to be called, the Model Y Plus will come on way faster than anybody expects. I'm saying second half, early, maybe even before the second half, June, end of June, something like that, we'll be seeing these vehicles, and they will also be a massive, massive hit. This will be where we go from what people are thinking now. I think maybe that the Model Y tops out at around 2 million. No, I think the Model Y is going to be a 3 million a year beast. It's going to just be way bigger than anybody's expecting. I mean, not anybody. There's people in the past have projected 4 million for the Model Y, and I'm not saying that's impossible. That could happen because it's just so much better than anything else like it on the road for the price. Number 6, Tesla will announce a run rate of 100 gigawatt hours for the 4680. Okay, 100 gigawatt hours for the 4680. Think about that. No later than August. Think it'll happen sooner, but I'm going to hedge my bet a little bit and say no later than August. The investing public will still refuse to understand that this adds $4.50. I'm sorry, $1.50, $1.50 to earnings, which will increase to $3 a share in earnings in 2025. The investing public just doesn't get it. Okay, even most of you may not be thinking that way, and certainly the rest of the community isn't thinking that way, and then for sure the street isn't thinking that way. We're talking about just from the IRA, there's going to be $1.50 to earnings probably in 2025, just from that line, 2024, just from that line in Austin, just from the first one, not for when the second one's added. Now you're talking about $3 per share in earnings, just from the check that the federal government's going to write, so to speak, out of the IRA project. Okay, I mean, I'm not making it up. It's factual. Number 7, auto margins will be higher when Q4 reports. That's next week or 2 weeks, and there will be enough information to lead even conservative types to expect this margin increase to be ongoing in Q1, Q2, etc. Okay, so you'll see that the margins have increased. So I forget exactly. I think there were 16.8 on auto margins. I could be wrong on that a little bit. I'm saying they're going to beat that. Maybe it'll be 18, 17.8, something a beat. I don't care if it's a 0.1 beat, it'll be a beat, which will say, okay, that's the bottom and it's going up. And that when you look at what's happening going forward, there's every reason to believe that that will just continue to incrementally go up into 2024. And I think this is the kind of thing that even the street will understand. They will be able to change their spreadsheets and begin to figure that into their thinking. And so you may see some people changing their projections for 2024 and beyond. Okay, number 8. By the Q1 earnings report, which will happen in April, the profits from energy will finally be big enough to really catch attention. Now, the profits from energy on the January report coming up in a week or so, those will be big, and the street is starting to pay attention. But no, it'll be the Q1 earnings in April that will really get the analysts' attention, and they will begin to change their valuations immediately. And then, especially if we get more information about the ramp in Lathrop and in Shanghai, is Lathrop really going to double their original plan production from 10,000 to 20,000? Or will of these units per year? Is Shanghai on schedule? Is ground broken? Are the walls going up? Are they still planning to be making these by the end of the year in Shanghai, et cetera, et cetera? If we know more about that. And then what about other possible locations that might be announced between now and April? All of those things will add to the story. We need the narrative. We need the story along with real numbers, and people and the street will start to pay attention. Number 9, some company will license either the operating system, full self-driving, or both by July 1st, and that will open the door to others who will have no choice but to follow. You realize that with the Cybertruck, what they're looking at now and what they got to be thinking about in terms of Unboxed is that Tesla has completely changed the way automobiles are made, completely changed the way that the electronics and the electrical systems within the car are designed, and the way that the car is put together. I mean, it's like going from an erector set. Almost all of you are old enough to remember an erector set. It's like all of the other car makers are still doing erector sets, and Tesla is going to Legos. I mean, it's just a completely different world. And these other guys are either going to have to find a way to do it. It's not just about FSD. It's not just about the quality of the cars. It's not just about the fact that they're electric. It's not just about the entertainment system. It's not just about over-the-air updates. It's now also about manufacturing prowess. And what are these guys going to do? They're going to have to start licensing that prowess, or they're going to be out of business. I don't know how to say it. There's no, even the Chinese, who are going to do well, they don't have the same manufacturing prowess as Tesla by a long shot, and they're going to need to have some of that stuff, or they also will not make it. Number 9. Oops, that was number 9. Number 10, the Generation 3 platform will be showcased / revealed in July, with production starting shortly after, maybe November. The reservations will be like nothing ever witnessed on any other product ever. So the 2 million for the Cybertruck will look like small potatoes, because the new Gen 3 vehicle, whatever it'll be called by then, the reservations will just be off the hook. Who knows? 2 million in the first couple of weeks or something. I mean, it'll just be craziness. And the July date I'm picking is because that will be the second quarter report. So I'm thinking it'll be at the earnings report in July, something around the 20th. And then production, it's not going to be like a year ahead. It's going to be a couple of months ahead, and they'll be ready to go. I mean, they will really be ready to ramp this thing. So it might be earlier than November. I'm again kind of trying to be as conservative as I know how to be by saying November. All right, so we're at number 10 now. I'm trying to decide whether this is long enough and we need to divide these 50 into 5 videos. Oh my gosh, that's possible. Should I keep going or should I stop now? I think I am going to stop now, okay? And maybe we're going to end up with 5 videos. But here's number 1. There is 10 predictions. Add your own, change mine. Now there's 40 more coming, so maybe this is the time. But go ahead and add, sure, absolutely add yours now. And then tell me where I'm wrong in the first 10 and make modifications and adjustments, or change my dates, whatever you want to do. But I'd love to see lots and lots of comments off of this particular video. And then, of course, you want to like and subscribe and notify, all the reasons why. And then you want to order up your Cybertrucks, okay? I'll take a little more time now. We'll talk about just for a minute. For those of you who are new, you've never seen this channel before, this is a Cybertruck bottle opener. It is also a refrigerator magnet with a massive magnet. It weighs 8 ounces. It is 3 millimeters. It is stainless steel. It's going to last, almost forever. It's not the same stainless they're using in the Cybertruck, but it's a nice stainless steel product. It is fun. Everybody that's getting them, we've had thousands shipped over. Have we had thousands? Yes, we've had thousands shipped already. And people are buying them in 5s and 10s and 20s. They're giving to their friends, they're giving to their coworkers, they're giving them to their enemies, they're giving to everybody, and using them in multiple places, in their own homes, their own cabins, their own RVs, etc. So $25 for 1, $45 for 2, $65 for 3, $90 for 4, $110 for 5. And if you want to buy more than that, they drop all the way down to $21 if you buy 10, and if you buy 20, it drops all the way to $20. So send that $400 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all lower cap letters. And then if you're going to be sure to say, I want either the stainless, or the camo version, whichever one you want. Or if you're ordering 20, maybe you want 13 regular and 7 camo or something like that. And then if you're outside the country, please add $20. If you are in the Western world, if you're in the Eastern, like China, Australia, New Zealand, if you're over in that part of the world, please add $30 for additional freight, no matter how many you order. And then join Patreon, $3, $5, $10. You get one of these and a free ebook, or, if you order at the $10 level. Okay, that's it. This is the first one in what apparently will be a series of 5. It's been great talking to you.